Today, we're going to completely shift how you look at your daily challenges. Seriously, if you've ever felt totally overwhelmed because one single frustrating event just seemingly ruined your whole day, you're in the exact right place. But first, I want you to picture this for a second. You're sitting in class, minding your own business, feeling pretty relaxed. Suddenly, your professor walks in and announces a surprise test. Your stomach drops, right? Your mind starts racing. What did I miss? What's the subject even gonna be? But here's the crazy catch. When you finally get the test paper, the page is completely blank. What would you even write about a blank page? You could literally feel the tension in the room. The professor walked down the aisles handing out the test papers one by one with a very strict instruction. Keep the sheets face down until everyone has received one. Nobody knew what was coming. And once that last paper was handed out, he told them to flip it over. And there was just sheer, utter confusion. There were 0 questions on the paper. No equations to solve, no essay prompts, nothing. Instead, the paper was completely blank. Well, except for a single black dot right in the dead center. The students looked at each other, totally baffled, trying to figure out what it meant. The professor simply said, "I want you to write about what you see on the paper." So, despite their confusion, they all put their heads down and started writing, trying to decode the hidden meaning of this extremely strange task. And this brilliantly illustrates human nature, doesn't it? When the time was up, the professor gathered all the papers and read the answers out loud to the class. A full 100% of the students, every single one of them, obsessively described the black dot. They wrote about where it was located on the page, its size, what it might symbolize, and 0%? Yeah, that's exactly how many wrote about the rest of the paper. They completely, 100% ignored the massive amount of blank space surrounding that tiny little dot.
The professor didn't grade these papers. He didn't care about their detailed analysis of a drop of ink. He wanted to give them a profound lesson to think about regarding how we view our entire existence. Standing before this absolutely silent classroom, he delivered a pretty profound observation. He said, "All of you had a white paper in front of you with a small black dot on it, but none of you wrote about the white part of the paper. Everyone just focused on the black dot." It's a massive twist, isn't it? Our human nature makes us completely overlook the abundant blank space right in front of our own eyes.
Let's map this directly to your life right now. The reality is our lives are mostly filled with white space, which represents our blessings, the good things, the room we actually have to enjoy life. But our minds, they naturally zero in on that tiny 1%, the dark spots, the problems, the setbacks. We let that tiny dot dictate our entire experience of the whole page. What exactly is this white space, and what are these black dots we become so easily obsessed with?
The contrast between the two is just staggering. The black dots are the things we hyper-fixate on, right? Health issues we're battling, not having enough money for the things we want, relationship problems, or just everyday letdowns when things don't go our way. But on the flip side is the white space, the ordinary but beautiful blessings we take for granted every single day. A walk in nature that refreshes us, friends who stand by us, jobs that support our families, a good book, or simply a quiet moment to ourselves. We have so much to be grateful for, but the stress of the dot completely blinds us to the rest of the paper.
It's kind of a harsh truth, but we really do have a terrible tendency of overlooking our blessings. As the source material points out, we usually only appreciate what we have when we're suddenly confronted with someone who lacks it. Seeing someone without a home violently reminds us to be thankful for our own roof. Meeting someone who is blind suddenly makes us incredibly grateful for our sight. It often takes a jarring contrast for us to finally notice the white space that was literally there for us all along.
So, how do we fix this default setting in our brains? Let's pivot to the practical application of this explainer, because understanding the metaphor is only step 1. Actively rewiring your perspective to train your mind to see the good, now that is where the real life-changing magic happens.
So the absolutely crucial point is this. Choosing to focus on the positive doesn't mean we just ignore our problems or pretend they aren't there. Step 1, acknowledge the problem. The black dot exists and hey, it needs attention. Step 2, don't let it dominate. Acknowledge the dot, but don't let it consume all your thoughts and feelings. And step 3, maintain a balanced focus. Try to give as much, or ideally way more, attention to the massive amount of positive white space in your life as you do to the negative. When you adopt this balanced perspective, the benefits are basically undeniable. Shifting your focus away from the black dot significantly improves your mental and emotional health. It fosters a deep sense of gratitude, which naturally boosts your happiness and reduces stress. It strengthens your resilience, making it so much easier to navigate life's inevitable challenges. And ultimately, it encourages a positive outlook that genuinely leads to a more rewarding life.
I want to leave you with one final, pretty provocative question. What part of the paper are you going to focus on today? Will you let the tiny dark spots bother you, or will you embrace the beauty and blessings of the bright open white space? The choice is entirely yours. Aim to live so fully and joyfully that your legacy becomes a beacon of happiness for everyone around you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I challenge you to start noticing the white space today.